How to run a meeting like a boss. Bad meetings suck, but great meetings can change the whole game. So do you want to know how to run a meeting in a killer way? How do you keep people's attention? And how do you avoid death by meeting? So let's go through these steps one by one. So step one, like and subscribe to the channel. No, I'm just kidding. Step one is, that's not what it is. But hey, while we're here, would you please do so? We really want to connect with you and keep giving you great content. Step number one, prepare. That might seem like just a silly little, adage. Everyone says that, prepare for the meeting, but I'm being really serious. It's not just, hey, I'm going to list out my agenda. It's not just, what are we talking about? And it's not just sending out invites. It's, oh, this is how I prepare. I'm really excited about this. How can I create an impact for the people that are coming to the meeting? And here's how I typically do it. What is the main point we're talking about? What is the outcome? And how can I get people to engage in that topic? And so that's how I'll start to structure the meeting and then order it so that when people come, they're like, that was a good meeting. I want to be prepared. If you want to run great meetings, come prepared. I didn't say just invited. I didn't just say outline. I mean prepared to really make an impact. So the real number two, have a purpose. If a meeting is on a rhythm and it's just supposed to happen because there's a specific tactical purpose for it, then I get it. But really, I'm just going to stick with this. Your meeting has to have a purpose. You've heard people say, oh, cut out meetings, get rid of meetings. You hear that on social media all the time. Actually, meetings done right change the whole game. They're remarkable. Like they're key to your business, 100%. But they must have a purpose. If somebody's going to come from wherever they are on the job site or outside of the job site and come to a meeting, they have to know, yeah, this is value add. This is key for me today. I want to go. And the way that you do that is to clearly articulate the purpose, right? If you come into a meeting and you're like, well, this is our regular weekly meeting. I guess we'll go over blah, blah, blah. Then people are like, oh my gosh, I could be checking emails right now. You know what I mean? But if you come in and be like, we're deciding on how to sequence level 3 so we can make the milestone, and today's the day, then when you're coming into the meeting, you're like, oh, snap, like, all right, okay, I can do that. This was value add. I was asking the same thing. I'm glad this meeting has a purpose. So that's number two. Number three, target the outcome. It isn't just let's wander off into space. What is the outcome? And focus people on that outcome. In fact, first 5 or 6 seconds, today we're going to find a way to hit the milestone for level 3. Boom. Hey, everybody knows what we're doing. And here's the key thing. You're telling them what we're doing. The brilliant people in the meeting will figure out how, right? And so if they know that milestone, the outcome, they can help you get there. So actually, here's a side note. And Kate was teaching me this the other day, and I want to share it with you. There's different types of engagements. There's sometimes where you're in an environment or in a setting where you're going to connect. Like you're like, I'm one-on-one and I'm here to connect. Like we're going to jam. And that's where you like sit down and like listen and watch. Okay. Then there's meetings. That's where everyone needs to know the purpose and you're going to utilize the wisdom of the team, and we must be focused. So those two that I've just talked about, there's no email happening on the backside, no alternate work, no distractions. We're focused, okay? Then there's work sessions, which are fine. And that's where everybody's kind of working, tap, 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 right? And you're doing your work, and then you'll engage when you need to. It's fine to be distracted. It's fine to do that type of work when you're in that kind of environment. And then there are briefings, right? Briefings, or you actually could add huddles in briefings, but this is where you're basically going to disseminate information. You're hearing when you need to hear. A little bit of distraction, maybe not a two-way conversation is fine, because a briefing is you're sending out information and people are listening, and it's up to them to listen properly. So my point is, if you're in a connection meeting or a regular meeting, you probably want to pay attention. No, you definitely do. If you're in a work session or a briefing, then that's more of your discretion. But if you want to make meetings remarkable, when you're in the environment where we need you to pay attention, please be present. Please pay attention. All right, now that we know that we're all supposed to be focused, when you're in a meeting, grab the people, right? They will determine, and you've seen this yourself, right? In the first couple seconds, was this a waste of my time, or is this going to be remarkable, right? So again, like, oh, hey, we're in our regular meeting. Thank you all for coming. Let me go ahead and see what we're doing today. Then you're like, I'm checking out. Email, right? But if they're like, all right, Milestone level 3, I think we got this. Let's grind for 20 minutes. You're like, oh, okay, all right, let's do this. I'm engaged, right? Grab them from the start. Number 5, have some healthy conflict. Could you imagine watching movies where they didn't have conflict? Like, what if you took conflict out of the movie Top Gun? Everybody would have been like, that's not a big deal. So you take out the fight with the MiGs, right? You take out the conflict between Maverick and Iceman. You take out the conflict in life, the death of Goose, right? That movie's garbage once you take those out. You gotta have some conflict, some drama. So in your meetings, let's bring up some things that are like hard. Like, hey, what should we do? I want your opinions. And if there's some disagreement, then people are like, oh, I'm passionate about this. Don't have it be a milquetoast yes man or yes woman meeting. Like, let's get some like real issues in there and discuss real issues. 6, the order. There's really nothing as frustrating as having like 5 minutes of participation in the meeting and having your spot be at the end, right? So if you're in a construction meeting and you've got 1 or 2 people, maybe a consultant, the fire sprinkler contractor, they're like, I'm involved in this for about 5 minutes, move their segments up to the front so then the longer conversations can take place on the tail end. So the sequence of the meeting is key, and it's also key to keeping their attention. Number 7 is make sure people are engaged. Like, people that say we're not here to be entertained, they probably don't run good meetings. There should be some entertainment in there. There should be some shout outs, some fun, some candy, like show a killer clown video or like a fun little video snippet of something, right? Like, tell a joke. Like, have it be engaging to where the people feel like they're a part of a team. Like, create some cultural aspects, shout out some people, right? Maybe even like call out some bad behavior in a proper way. Make this interesting. You've got to keep people's attention if you're going to run a great meeting. Number 8, ask yourself every time, how can I gather participation, right? And so I saw this as a really neat trick, and I've been doing it ever since. One time there was a team building company that came in one of our field engineer boot camps and like led some team building activities. He started facilitating the team building activity. He was like, we're going to play this game for 2 minutes. And he said to the audience, how long are we going to play it? And they're like, 2 minutes, right? And he was like, and we're going to follow steps 1, 2, and 3. What are we going to do? We're going to follow steps 1, 2, and 3. And I was like, oh, what's he doing here? And by the way, that's not treating people like children. He was like, he's engaging them in their minds, right? They had to hear it, think about it, process it, and repeat it. And so now they're a part of the meeting. So when you're doing stuff, don't just tell. Be like, tell, okay, what did you get from that? Tell, what's your opinion, right? Or, hey, I've got a question, please give it to me, then I'll tell. Start engaging the group as often as you can. So don't measure, am I busy in this meeting? Measure, how much is everyone interacting in this meeting? And what I notice when I'm facilitating, because this is like one of the few things I'm good at, is what I measure is not, am I talking, but are people's attention, is the attention being kept? And do I see any lulls? And if I do, I'll throw out a question, not a fake one, a real one, right? Or I'll engage those individuals and keep the energy on their side really high. So engage the people. And number 9, make it relevant. Like, if this meeting, like, you're not just doing showmanship or showwomanship or however you say that, showpersonship, like, you're not just doing that just to entertain. There has to be a real purpose, and you're just keeping their energy high so they can realize that purpose. So it has to be meaningful. What you're going to do in these meetings is curate the experience, the handouts, the printouts, and what you're presenting and your visuals and how you run the meeting in a way to where they can leave being like, oh, I am better for having been there. Or I now have more information. Or, wow, that was useful. Make sure your meeting is impactful and it has real results that drive impact. And lastly, ask for feedback. Every meeting should end with a plus delta. So if you knew, hey, this is the purpose of the meeting, ask the team, did this meeting meet that purpose? What are some things that did? What are some things you would have changed? And get at least 2. Now, it's going to be hard because people won't naturally speak up, well, I like this, or this is what you can change. Go ahead and bring back that engagement. Start asking questions and gather that information. What did they feel was remarkable for the meeting, and what could we have done better? So this is the pattern that I use. And if you use it, even though it could take you days, weeks, or months to perfect these meetings, you will eventually get so good at it that people will want to be there. And so my call to action is please, please, please make this a focus. And those that say, hey, meetings aren't worthwhile, they're essentially saying, hey, I'd rather take 30 minutes of a really good meeting where we could all get on the same page and make money. I'd rather cancel that and go spend 8 hours individually talking to people and creating chaos and wasting my time. If they say that, they probably are just in an exercise challenge and want a lot of steps tracked on their Apple Watch. But hey, just be like, hey homie, let's just have a good meeting. You can go do your walk later on, sometime else. There's no reason to cancel a good meeting just so I can go talk to people one-on-one and be ineffective. Meetings are the price we pay to be on the same page and to be effective. So I'm going to link you in the description below to a book called Death by Meeting. It is fantastic. Read it. Please implement the strategy and make sure that your meetings are clear, that they grab you, that they have some conflict, they are focused, and they are at the right intervals. I really hope you enjoy this and implement it. On we go.